All right, we're going to continue with our special focus on that story between the information regulator having given an administrative fine to the Department of Basic Education of about 5 million rand to not publish the upcoming matric results on newspapers this year. Let's now speak to Department of Basic Education's national spokesperson, Mr. Elijah Mhlanga. Elijah, festive greetings to you. Thank you so much for your time. You heard the advocate. What is your response as the DBE?
Well, good afternoon, Alicia. Thank you very much. We are proceeding with the release of the results in the newspapers because you forgot to ask her about the court judgment which has empowered the department to do so. And this judgment is not of this year or last year, but the year before that. And since then, there hasn't been any other court judgment or ruling to the contrary. That means we are still aligned with that court order to proceed with the release of the results in the newspapers that wish to carry them.
Mm-hmm. So what happens now, Elijah, in terms of the administrative fine as well? We understand that, of course, 3 weeks ago, the minister, as you've just referred to, the minister 3 weeks ago did say that you were going to go ahead and only publish the student exam number. The information regulator says they do not have an issue with this, but it is consent from those students that they are seeking who are 18 years and older who can't give consent, or alternatively, the parents' consent?
Well, Alicia, when we first went to court, when AfriForum took the department to court, those matters were raised. At the end of the day, a judge from the Pretoria High Court made a ruling that the department must release the results in the current form, which means using exam numbers. Let me maybe go back. In 2014, the department took a decision on its own to stop using the names of matriculants in the newspapers when releasing results. A decision was taken to use only exam numbers. And we have stuck with that arrangement since then up until today, and there were no issues regarding that. So the issue of exam numbers was not forced on us, but it was of our own doing when we felt that we needed to move with the times. And of course, at that time, the POPIA was not in existence. And when it came, the department was uncertain as to what it was supposed to do. So we took a decision back then in 2022 not to release the results in the newspapers, but AfriForum went to court and they were successful in their court action. And we then proceeded to release the results. And since then, there's not been any other matter. So we received the enforcement notice from the information regulator. When we studied it, the legal advice was that we needed to appeal this in the court, and we've done that. In terms of the report that we have from the state attorney, the processes were followed, our documents were lodged and served on the information regulator. So as to when they receive them, that's another matter. But as things stand right now, we have taken the matter to the court where we are seeking clarity. You are going to ask about the 5 million rand non-compliance fine. We don't believe that is relevant for now because the entire matter is in the courts, and we don't believe that we were late with the delivery of the papers because the processes were followed. So we are not even going to discuss that now. If there's any other matter, it will be dealt with in the courts.
Yeah, because she did allude there, Elijah, that that notice had actually your date to respond expired on the 19th of December, and up until such date, they had no response. Instead, just an application to challenge the notice, which then they only received on Christmas. So now, the proposals, Elijah, for the schools to have the matric results, as well as other proposed alternatives to publish these results, are these being considered by the department? How far are you in bringing about an alternative to this traditional method of putting it in the newspaper?
Yeah, maybe let's separate the issues now. So the department has no obligation to publish results in the newspapers. our primary objective is to make sure that each candidate gets their results at the school where they set for the exams. But on the other hand, we have this long-standing tradition where matric results were published in newspapers to allow people who are far from their schools to immediately access their results. That's been a convenience that has worked for many decades. It came to a point where we're not using the names of the matric candidates themselves. We started using exam numbers. That too continued to work for the last 10 years, and there hasn't been any complaint from anyone because they were able to use their exam numbers to access their results in the media platform. So it's not just newspapers. We also have other partners who also apply. They run digital platforms which also allow candidates to access securely their results. We also share the information, by the way, with universities in order for them to start processing the applications of those young people who have applied for tertiary education. So we share the information with a variety of stakeholders who find it useful that they are able to access the information and do with it that which they wish. But we actually sign contracts with them because there are certain conditions, and we also embargo the information. They can't use it prior to the release by the department. Mm-hmm. So all of these things we are doing to make the results accessible, but our one is to ensure that every learner who set for the grade 12 and exams accesses their results that are accurate at the place where they set for the exam.
Mm-hmm. And you, just to confirm once again, Elijah, you are saying there is a court matter that is pending before you even start looking at paying that 5 million rand administrative fine?
Absolutely. We believe that we've done everything according to the book, and any other delay or technical issue that needs to be discussed will be dealt with in terms of the law. There are provisions for all sorts of things that relate to a matter such as this one. So the lawyers will deal with those technical aspects, but as far as we are concerned, we've done everything right, and we're going to present all the arguments in the court when the time comes.
And according to Times Live there, the minister still maintains a view that intergovernmental issues can be resolved through dialogue and not resorting to adversarial legal proceedings. So we look forward to the swift resolution to this matter. Elijah, thank you so much for your input. Once again, happy festive holidays. Mr. Elijah Mhlanga is the national spokesperson at the Department of Basic Education in response to the 5 million rand administrative fine by the information regulator.